Yo, 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 and welcome to Totally Out of Control News with Matt Fox. That's me, and this is a sad situation. We're sitting here 4 years into the war with Ukraine. The Russians have lost over 1 million soldiers. Putin doesn't give a crap, and the world is continuing to fight to get rid of this pest of an individual, Vladimir Putin. So let's discuss. Yesterday was the State of the Union, and Donald Trump sat there and told his lies as is normal. And what really got to me is a couple of things. Number one, there was a young lady that was there at the State of the Union that was viciously, and I'm talking about viciously, ripped out of her car as she was headed on her way to a doctor's appointment in Minnesota. And because her boyfriend might have been on some list or was possibly a overstayed his visa, who knows? They stopped this woman and they ripped her out of her car. I mean, the woman was, of course, wearing a seatbelt, and they ripped her out of the vehicle, yanking her by the arms and the shoulders, half in, half out of the car. She didn't know why they were bothering her. They ended up physically hurting the woman worse than she already was. They didn't do anything to this girl. They let her out. They detained her and then they let her out. And see, what gets me is how the government tries to ignore what they did to her. See, and I'm going to tell you how they did that. This lady last night was at the State of the Union listening and not doing anything, not causing any problems or anything, just listening. And at a certain point, when Trump went through his speech about Minnesota and all the Somalis and this and that, the woman stood up because she wanted to have a clear view of him as he was spouting these lies. She didn't say anything, didn't do anything, just stood up. And this woman, who is right now handicapped, she's has a cane, she can barely move her arms because her shoulders are so messed up. They dragged this woman out of the State of the Union address for doing nothing, just for standing up because she wanted to have a clear view. She couldn't see. She wanted to have a clear view. That is straight to my point. I am going to throw a shout out to a couple of women who normally I would not throw a shout out to. But I'm thinking that they're starting to understand what's really going on. Donald Trump, who is the head of the Republican Party, is trying to tell every Republican, do not say anything about my pedophile friend. Do not mention anything about Ghislaine Maxwell. She's going to get her pardon later on. Don't talk about anything in regards to the Epstein file because, see, for him, it's all a hoax. It's all a hoax. But for the victims, the survivors that are standing in the audience looking at this piece of shit lying through his teeth, it's an affront. It's an affront to everything that Americans hold dear, and that is justice. Because in America, if you can't get justice, then you're screwed. I mean, you might as well live in Russia. And about Russia, they're all these freaking mediators thinking that they're mediating for Ukraine. These guys, um, they're over there trying to make all sorts of deals and cut some deals for some business with Putin. See, but what they really don't know is fucking Russia sucks to live in because it's freaking covered in ice all the time. It's it's not a fucking cool place to live. Communism or democracy? No, I'm just saying. You need to really take a look at the situation. You really need to really understand who is coming out on top. And because Putin has videos of Trump doing some stupid shit, he is not doing what he needs to be doing to help the Ukrainians. Stand up for freedom, stand up for democracy. No, he is siding with a communist. He is siding with a communist regime. Back in the game, back by the days of Korea and stuff, there is a very, very, very big discussion about who the communists were that were sitting in the Senate. And I'm going to tell you right here and now, the people in the Congress should be talking about who the fucking pedophiles are that are sitting next to them in that Congress. Every single Congress member who has been over there taking advantage of his position, using that to abuse young girls, or maybe staffers. Nancy Mace and Lauren Boebert have both made a promise to seek out and try to get some answers as to who the other people are that are sitting in the Congress. Democrat, Republican, doesn't matter. They should all be outed. They should all be swept out and swept into prison. Because if I can be a convicted felon for doing some stupid shit, then these individuals that took advantage of these young girls and then go sit in that Congress and fight against the release of the Epstein files. It just shows you right there. There's a lot of people in that Congress. They need to find the exit door. They need to find the exit door. We need a really clean sweep of all the individuals in the Congress. I'm talking about all of them. Democrats, Republicans. I'm a Republican, but I'm not a MAGA Republican. Sorry. That's just the way it is. I can't do it. Because, see, I know met Donald Trump, or not met him, but was around him in 85, and I asked about him. And to this day, he's never changed. He's a piece of shit. He will lie. He will lie and smile in your face as he lies to you. He knows he's lying, but he doesn't care. He don't care. He's going to use his lawyers to try to get you to swallow his bullshit. And if you don't swallow his bullshit, well, he's going to fucking sue you. See, that's Donald Trump's deal. He uses lawyers to delay things, to distract, to call into question things. And he's been doing that his whole life. It's time to end the madness. All right. We have a guy that's sitting in the office of the President of the United States who is best friends with the world's most notorious pedophile. The guy who was sex trafficking girls from Europe. Hey, all the countries in Europe. I'm in Germany right now. I'm in Germany, just so you know. And they are pissed. They are pissed. Germany, Poland, France, Romania, Moldova, Ukraine, they're all pissed because Jeffrey Epstein had people over here in Europe also seeking out young girls who were either willing or maybe were coerced into going on an airplane to a friend's house. And that friend, Jeffrey Epstein. They probably should have recognized it right away when the plane was called Lolita Express. And every girl that went over there on that island that was underage probably never made it off. There are, I'm sorry, there are reports about bodies that have been disposed of on Zorro Ranch in New Mexico. I myself have heard first or secondhand stories in regards to the room that Epstein himself and one or two other people built to use as a storage area for his videos and passports and possibly weapons and possibly whatever. The Epstein was involved in some serious stuff. And so whether he, now this is, I'm going to tell you the new stuff that's what's going on right now. They're talking, the government, DOJ, they're talking about saying that Epstein was a government agent or was working for a government agency, and therefore he could not be touched. However, I don't care what government you're working for. If you're a pedophile, that's it. You need to go to jail. That's it. I mean, you can't just turn your eyes. I mean, it's not like you're just smuggling some dope or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You're smuggling the girls, you're banging the girls, you're disciplining the girls, you're abusing the girls, and then maybe you might be killing the girls and maybe even eating the girls from I'm talking about some of the stuff that I have read in the Epstein files grosses me out so much. I mean, I really close to throwing up when I read some of the stuff that I've read. And if you haven't been reading that stuff, you need to be reading it. You need to, if you have not read Virginia Guiffre's book, I highly, highly recommend it. Definitely. Because in that book, you will see the amount of abuse that this young lady went through. Now, Virginia Giuffre was 16, 16, 17, working at Mar-a-Lago. And she met Epstein there. Ghislaine Maxwell talked her into going over to Epstein's, and, the rest is history. The poor woman, the poor girl, and all the other girls also. I mean, the amount of degrading behavior that they had to go through, the amount of sexual abuse that they had to deal with at the hands of Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump, and whoever else. Now, there is no, how should I say, there is no charges against Donald Trump. Uh, Nobody from the survivors has claimed him as a as a what you call it as one of the people that caused them the pain that they went through. But co-conspirators, yeah, I'm going to say he was a co-conspirator. I'm going to say that he is probably in need of a RICO case. Because for me, when you operate with the belief that if you can do something and acquire something in order to get something else, and what you're doing is illegally trafficking young girls so that you can get some money. I'm just saying. And his pageants were exactly that, because numerous times the girls were called to, uh, uh, you know, try out or whatever, and there would just be Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump there. Now, what do you think that means? I'm thinking in that moment that the conversation probably went, "Oh yeah, you're good, but the other girl beat you out, and but my friend Jeffrey's got an opportunity for you. You want to listen to him? You know what I'm saying?" So that's where I'm getting back to the point. Donald Trump, second in charge at the DOJ, said it was not a crime to party with Jeffrey Epstein. That's what he said. So, but I'm thinking if your friend is having sex with underage girls, I mean, it's your best friend. You know that, right? I mean, what do guys do? They talk about girls together, right? If your best friend is having sex with underage girls, then you, my friend, are an accomplice. You are an accomplice. If your friend murders somebody and you don't go to the police and tell them, and you are an accomplice. And so, therefore, I say that Donald Trump is, if not a co conspirator, he is definitely an accomplice. An accomplice to the rape and possibly the murder of children. And I am calling on all senators and Congress people there to enact Article 2, Section 4 of our Constitution to rid the Oval Office of the freaking pedophile protector that sits there. Now, you may think, he's doing some good things. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. The only people that he is trying to help is himself and the people around him. Practically every single one of his cabinet members, practically every single one, is grifting in some way or another and making money off their position. Kash Patel decided you want to go to the Olympics, watch a hockey game. He did that. He even went to locker room, slugged some beers down. Boy, that's on the Americans' dime. On the Americans' dime. Now, they showed some pictures where he was over there at FBI headquarters over there, and they snapped a few pictures and stuff. But I mean, he hustled his ass right off over there and went over there and slugged a few beers down with the hockey team. Yay for him, Kash Patel. But just because he scheduled a visit at the law enforcement facilities there doesn't mean it was necessary. And prior to his jump into the administration, where he was supposed to release the Epstein files, he was talking about how Chris Wray didn't need the FBI jet to fly everywhere. But since he's been there 1 year, he's flown his girlfriend around. He's flown to go see his girlfriend. He's ordered fucking SWAT for his girlfriend. He's ordered SWAT teams to drive his drunk girlfriend's friend home. Is this the kind of professional behavior that Americans should expect from the FBI? Because when he wasn't in the FBI, he was saying they didn't need to take the plane everywhere. So, and I'm just assuming that if Chris Wray had a girlfriend, of course, Chris Wray has a wife, probably, because, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't look like a. He doesn't look like a. So, Kash Patel, I don't care who you call your girlfriend. I'm going to give you some news right freaking now. Kash Patel, you will never have a girlfriend who will love you and care for you until your last day. I'm telling you that now. And it is not because you look like a freaking hobbit. It is not because your eyes look like you've done freaking 10 grams of coke. It is because you have a bad character and because you stand behind and protect a pedophile protector and someone who has been accused of murder, someone who has been convicted of sexual assault. So Kash Patel, when it's all over and done with, I look forward to seeing you in an orange jumpsuit too. And if you're lucky, you'll have Donald Trump as your cellmate. Won't that be nice? Won't that be nice? Then you could sit over there and fart in the cell and you could smell all that shit. Ooh, man. But he won't look as good as he does now. No, no, no. His little old rug will be gone. He won't have as much face paint. And I guarantee you one thing. He'll be paying some protection money if he goes to prison. I guarantee. Because once it's over with and it all comes out about his crimes that he's covering up and you're covering up now, his money's going to be gone. Melania's going to get a lot of that money. Kid's going to get a lot of that money too. But you know what? The boys, they might be going to prison too. Ivanka, she might be going to prison too. They were all over it there. They were all there, flying on Epstein's plane, all of them. So the lies continue. The fairy tales continue. But when the evidence is there and the Americans finally fucking grasp what's happening, then you have to ask yourself, do I want to hang out with the pedophile? Do I want a pedophile as president? I don't know. I'm thinking not. I sit here in Rostock, Germany, and I'm really amazed at how the nation that I call my home has fallen so bad so that we have a pedophile in the office of the president. And for me, that's hard. That's hard to swallow. But I'll tell you something that wasn't hard to swallow, and that was Bubba's cock, and Trump had it in his mouth. Fucking bam! That bitch had it up. Huh? So if Trump can blow Bubba and can get away with possibly doing some other things to young girls and all that other stuff, then why is he still sitting in the presidency? Why is he still sitting in the Oval Office? Nancy Mace and Lauren Boebert are now hell bent on getting all the freaking rapists, all the sexual abusers out of the Congress. That means Republican, Democrat, every single one. If you have been sexually abusing your staff members or staffers there or disrespecting them in a way that is not in order, then every single one of them need to be outed. Every single one of them need to be prosecuted, and every single one of them needs to face justice for doing the things that they've been doing. And we need some new blood in the freaking Congress. New blood, because we got so many people right now sitting in Congress that are backing Donald Trump's shit because they don't want their names out also. I'm looking forward to Jim Jordan getting his fair due also for what he has done. He covered up some sex scandals also in his days, and there's been a lot of accusations against him as well. So, and for all of those other Congress people who were over there on Jeffrey Epstein's island, or were over at his Manhattan apartment, or were possibly involved in some other activities, if any of the girls let that stuff out, then I look forward to the Congress being thinned out, because there's no reason why Americans have to take a freaking felon sitting in the Oval Office talking about, I'm going to fucking cut off your Medicare. I'm going to cut off your Medicaid. I'm going to take away your food stamps. I'm not going to do anything for you. I'm going to do everything for me. I'm going to name the airport after me. I'm going to hang my picture up here and there, and I'm going to freaking name the John F. Kennedy Memorial after me. And I'm going to, hey, come on, get off the bullshit. Is this a me world that we're in? Because if it's all about Donald Trump, then what about all the Americans that he's supposed to be serving? The office of the president serves the people, and he ain't doing nothing for you. He's not doing anything for you. Yeah, your 401k is looking good. That's only because of the fact that the freaking stock market is playing with him. But when the shit hits the fan, playtime's going to be over. Playtime is going to be over. Gas prices are going to hit the roof. Inflation is going to be out of control. Our debt is already out of control, and Donald Trump made it 3 or 4 times worse than it already was. So, as it is, it's not looking good for America and democracy. I am certainly hopeful that we make it to the 2026 elections, the midterms, because if and when, then Mike Johnson said it today. Mike Johnson said if we lose the midterms, then Donald Trump's presidency is over. And just like Donald Trump said to Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, somebody else who I normally would not mention, but I'm mentioning because she stood up for the survivors. And Trump told her, it will hurt my friends. All right. That we all heard that. It will hurt my friends. My friends, you got a pedophile in the president's office, and it needs to end now. Wish you all a good night. I'm in Germany. It's 9:05. So wish you guys a good night. Wherever you're at, stay safe, stay strong, and thanks for watching. And please stop in and watch again sometime. Subscribe, doesn't cost anything. Give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. And wherever you're at, I hope that you're safe and that you're not going to be bothered by the ICE or any other government agencies. But pay attention to what's happening in your area and be sure to stay in contact with people that you love and let them know that you love them, because in today's world, you never know when today is going to be the last, when it's going to be your last day. So I'm Matt Fox. This is Matt Fox on the Tube. Hey, stand with Ukraine because they need it. You know what I'm saying? 4 years at war with Russia, and Donald Trump has not helped one bit. He said he was going to stop that war on day one. He has not done that. And it is getting worse and worse for the Russians. More bodies. He doesn't care. He's throwing those people in that war. He does not care. Poor Russian people, I am so sad for you. You guys have had it hard throughout your whole existence there in Russia. For Stalin, the only time you guys had a decent leader was when you guys had Gorbachev. Yeltsin was a fucking drunk. I mean, man, it's rough. I feel sorry for you. But until you guys get rid of Putin and get a decent leader who's willing to work with the West to maybe change the way Russia operates, then you guys are stuck out. You know what I'm saying? You're stuck out for real. Winners are sorry over there. You can't do anything, and nobody wants to shovel that much snow. As far as snow is concerned, I heard my friends in New York are getting a shitload of snow. So hey, my heart is with you guys. We had snow here in Germany, but it's gone now. It's just starting to melt right now. So listen, I'm Matt Fox. It's Matt Fox on Tube, and I'm out of there. I got to go, man. It's nighttime, and my wife's about to go get out of the shower, so I'm about to jump in. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day, and take care of yourselves. Love yourself.